Have you ever stood in a crowd, yet felt completely alone? Or sat in a room full of everything you once dreamed of, yet still felt a quiet emptiness inside? It's something most of us experience, that silent ache, the longing for something more. And here's the truth: you are not broken. You're not lost. You're simply being called inward. You see, in this chapter, Sadhguru invites us to take a radical turn, not into another self-help technique, but into ourselves. Because the real transformation doesn't happen outside. It begins within. Let's talk about this. Sadhguru says something powerful and simple. The only way out is in. Think about that for a moment. We're always looking out there, for answers, for love, for solutions. But the more we chase, the more life feels like a moving target, like trying to grab a cloud with your hands. And yet, what if the very thing you're chasing is already within you? That peace, that freedom, that sense of being whole. It's not in a job title, not in a partner, not in the next gadget or getaway. It's in you. But to find it, we have to pause the chase. We have to turn inward. Sadhguru gives a beautiful metaphor. He says, imagine someone trying to drive a car without knowing anything about how it works, constantly turning the wheel, pressing buttons randomly, wondering why the journey is so difficult. That's how most of us live. We're trying to navigate life without understanding the instrument through which we experience everything, ourselves. We've mastered everything else: devices, systems, science, space travel. But when it comes to our own body, our own mind, our own inner chemistry, most of us are strangers. Let me ask you, when was the last time you just sat with yourself? Not to scroll, not to plan, not to worry, but simply to be? We spend so much time reacting to life that we rarely pause to understand what's actually going on inside. But Sadhguru is saying, if you can take charge of your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your energies, then no matter what's happening outside, you remain steady, joyful, and clear. Isn't that what we're all craving? We're taught from childhood how to achieve, how to build careers, follow rules, earn respect. But we're rarely taught how to be at peace with ourselves. We think peace is the absence of problems. But peace is actually the absence of inner conflict. And that can only come when we understand and align our inner world. That's the beginning of what Sadhguru calls inner engineering. Let's make this simple. If someone hands you a supercomputer, the most complex machine on Earth, and you don't know how to use it, it will cause stress, not success. Now realize you are that machine. Your brain, your energy, your emotions, your memory, all powerful tools. But without inner clarity, they run wild. That's why we overthink. That's why we get hurt so easily. That's why we feel anxious, even when everything looks fine on the outside. Because we've never been taught how to sit in the driver's seat of our own life. And that's what this chapter gently points us toward. You don't have to fix the whole world. You don't need to control everyone around you. You only need to take charge of one thing: yourself, your breath, your attention, your response. That's where true power begins. Not in domination, not in more followers or fame, but in the ability to sit still and be joyful, even when the world is noisy. Sadhguru says, if you are in charge of yourself, you decide how to experience life. Not the economy, not your past, not someone else's mood. You. Can you feel the freedom in that? Yes, it's a responsibility, but it's also liberation. Because once you know that joy is your own creation, nothing can take it away from you. Let me give you an example. Think of a child playing with a toy, fully present, laughing, no thoughts of the past or future. That state, that natural joy, is your true nature. You haven't lost it. It's just been buried under years of conditioning and distraction. Inner engineering is not about becoming something new. It's about returning to that natural state, consciously, joyfully, powerfully. This path is not for escaping the world. It's not about sitting in a cave and chanting for the rest of your life. It's about learning how to be alive, truly alive, in the middle of work, family, traffic, and challenge. To smile from the soul. To breathe with awareness. To move with grace. That's spiritual maturity. So if you're listening to this and wondering, where do I begin? Here's the answer. Begin by noticing. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts, not to judge them, but to see that they're not you. Notice how easily we get pulled outside, and gently bring your awareness back within. That noticing is the first step to inner freedom. And remember, you are not alone. Every seeker, every mystic, every person who has ever longed for something deeper has walked this path, the path inward. Now it's your turn. You don't need to figure it all out at once. You just need to begin with honesty, with love, with presence. Sadhguru says, if you are willing, the possibility is limitless. So I ask you now, are you willing? Are you willing to sit with yourself, gently, without judgment? Are you willing to trust that peace is not a future achievement, but a present possibility? Are you willing to look inward, not because something is wrong, but because everything you need is already within you? That willingness is the beginning of your awakening. Take this moment now, not to think, but to feel. Close your eyes if you like. Take a breath. Feel the warmth of being alive. And say gently within yourself, I am not broken. I am becoming. Let that truth sink in. Because, my friend, the way out is in. And this journey, this chapter, is only the beginning. Take this moment now, not to think, but to feel. Close your eyes if you like. Take a breath. Feel the warmth of being alive. And say gently within yourself, I am not broken. I am becoming. Let that truth sink in. Because, my friend, the way out is in. And this journey, this chapter, is only the beginning. Type Namaskaram in the comments if this touched you. And subscribe so we can keep walking this sacred path together. This is only the beginning.